How do you think that like history of always winning is gonna translate to the next level? Maybe someone from Okemos, or no, you never know who's watching that's playing soccer. What advice would you give them to not only find confidence in themselves to maybe they're on the bench all the time, they want to play, but also like confidence to like go to the next level like you and play in college.
I would say
for the tough hitting question.
Okay.
Messi or Ronaldo? Well, let's jump right into it. Welcome back to the Loser Island podcast. I'm your host, Simon. I'm here with
Alex Gandhi.
Alex Gandhi. Gandhi's your last name?
Yeah.
Wow, I thought that was like a nickname. I thought.
No, yeah, that's my last name.
Because like when I first met you, people were like, "Yeah, what's up? This is Gandhi." I was like, "This dude's dope." Like I was like, "This dude's chill as fuck." I already knew.
Nickname is Gandhi. Yeah. No, but yeah, it's actually my last name.
So people always call you Gandhi?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's a little bit more unique than Alex. It's like, Gandhi.
It's a good name. Yeah.
It's kind of stuck.
So Gandhi, you just recently graduated high school.
That's right.
From Okemos, from our former alum. How was that? Like how was graduating from high school?
It was good. I mean, it was a really different experience probably from you. You graduated in the COVID year, right?
Yeah, that was it.
So you had a whole 3 years of lead up actually going to school. And I don't know which one I would say is better. Because I missed, I guess, those formative like freshman, sophomore years like in the school. But obviously you missed like prom and graduation was kind of different and everything. But I had a great senior year and I really enjoyed it.
Did it like start to get like more progressively like open as
like definitely. Okay. I think the big change was junior year. It was like the whole shift back to like normal schooling, and everything kind of just opened up.
That's awesome. So also you are a really good soccer player. Made All-State a couple times. Not humble brag, but what do you miss most about your soccer career from Okemos, and what are you going to take away from that?
Really, the way we played at Okemos was really a free-flowing play. Like, everybody kind of got involved. It wasn't like, just pass the ball to one player. Like, everybody was a competent player, and it was really fun to just connect with all those guys. So I'm really looking to bring in that, like, chemistry and just, like, sort of whole team bond to Eastern Illinois.
And forgive me, but how far did you guys go for last 2 years?
So junior year, we won the whole thing. We went undefeated. It was a great year. It was awesome. And then senior year, we lost to the team we thought was going to win, Detroit Catholic Central. They were like #1 ranked. They were like #4 in the country for a while.
Dang.
We lost in overtime, and like I think it was the quarterfinal to them. It was a close game. We were up 1-0. I scored to put us up 1-0. 7 minutes left. I think they scored to tie, and then they took us to overtime, and they beat us. But
you guys went pretty far though.
It was a good year. It was a really good year.
So how do you think that like history of always winning is going to translate to the next level?
So I'm really excited because this program, Eastern Illinois, it's not like a tip-top shape program. Like, it's not like they haven't
still
won.
D1 though. Don't let it fool anybody.
Right. We haven't won in a while. So we have a big class of freshmen, 14 freshmen coming in. So a lot. Like, it's like almost half the team. I think there's like 30 guys on the roster. So every one of those guys, I know like at least 5 or 6 have won state championships in high school and club, and some of them are competing for, I think, a national championship right now in Orlando. Okay. So everyone has that winning experience, and obviously it's going to be different at the D1 level. Different
culture and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Just introducing that.
All right, but before we talk about the college game, let's go back. So when did you start playing soccer, and when did you fall in love with it?
Yeah, so I started playing pretty late, actually. I started playing at 9 years old, 10 years old.
Oh, that is.
So, So I started playing with, like, the Okemos Soccer Club. I don't know if you ever played, like, the little, like, club.
I played with them, dabbled with them,
Yeah, like Castle or whatever. So I played on that. I made the A team my first year. I think it was, like, I don't know, like 2014. I was, like, 9.
And was soccer your first love? Sorry.
I played baseball a little bit before I played soccer, and I really liked baseball, but I didn't.
What position were you?
I was young, so we switched all around. I liked pitching. I was actually decent at pitching. I played first base, a little bit of shortstop, but we all rotated around. Anyways, so I make the Okemos like A team my first year at 9 years old. We were pretty good for the Castle League, but it wasn't very good competition or anything. Like I was like okay, I wasn't great. I scored a couple goals here and there, but I remember my dad and my sister told me I needed like a bigger challenge to push me further. Yeah. So we went to, I'm sure you know of this club, Chill. The old club. Mm-hmm. So we went there. It was like in the spring season. So it was like halfway through the year. I left the Okemos team and went to the Chill team.
Okay.
So I made the A team in like April of that year. I think it was like 2015.
Thanks, yeah.
Yeah. So it was like halfway. It was almost over. I was horrible. I was the worst player on the team by far.
Yeah.
Like I was so scared like to even go to practice or anything. Like I was just so scared because my coach, I never had a coach that would like yell at me like properly. He was like a proper English bloke, like yelled at me, just like, "Come on, mate!" Like
from Britain.
Yeah,
oh my gosh, it's funny as hell.
And so I was like, "Oh my god!" Like I was not ready for that.
Right.
Yeah, and so like I was just scared. Like I was every single time I got out of the field. Like I remember with this one game, I faked being sick. Like I was at the game, but I was just like, "Coach, my stomach hurts. I can't." I swear.
Yeah.
It was horrible. Like I was so scared.
And he just like, "All right, sit."
Yeah, so for that game, and then the next game I played a little bit, but still. Just so scared. So then he knew this, obviously. The coach knew I was just nervous and I didn't have any confidence to play. He knew I had somewhat like skills or ability, but I didn't really have the confidence to go play against players at that level. So he cut me after that year. I played on the B team the next year, and I was so like I was kind of, it was like a bittersweet feeling. It was like, damn, like I don't have to get yelled at anymore by this dude. But I was like, damn, I'm not in the A team. Like that kind of sucks.
Right, brings your ego down.
Exactly, definitely. So I played on the B team. I met this coach, Pau. He's a Spanish guy. He's really cool, nice coach. Like he really knew the game well. Yeah. And we started doing like private trainings on the side. Like once, twice a week, we would like before practice or after practice, we would just like train for like an hour, and he would just like just different drills and stuff. Yeah. And I really like, it wasn't like a direct like rise to glory or anything or greatness, but I really like improved. That's where I really set the foundation for like my skills and like just everything knowledge of the game.
So that coach really brought you in and taught you all the foundations, and that just built your confidence, all that stuff, and it just took off ever then.
Definitely, yeah.
So then, did you make varsity as a freshman too?
I didn't make it as a freshman actually. I made JVA as a freshman.
So explain that. Did you expect to go varsity? Sorry.
Yeah, I did. So me and my friend Leo were like the two like candidates like to make varsity as freshmen, and I remember. There was like a fitness test. It was really hard this year. It was like especially hard that year.
It
was you had to run a mile and a half in 9 minutes, so like 6 minute mile pace. But it was blistering heat. I got close. Like I think I ran like a 9:13, 9:14.
Damn,
so I came close, but Leo got the time.
Right.
And so like that's kind of what they decided.
Oh, so they only were like, we need one freshman.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Because they was stacked that year.
Yeah.
Competitive though, but you know.
But honestly, same kind of experience as being dropped to the B team.
Yeah.
I think if I had made varsity, I obviously wouldn't have played very much as a freshman. Like
that is a good point. Yeah.
So same kind of just confidence building, foundation building, playing on JV, starting every game, playing almost the whole time. Like, it really helped.
So what's like conditioning like for soccer? Because I feel like it's crazy. You're running all the time.
Yeah,
so
It's
what do you do to stay in shape?
Most teams that I've been on, except for maybe Okemos a little bit, we haven't done much fitness training. Like I play for Jags out in Novi.
Okay, yeah.
And we don't do it. We train like 2 times a week, so we don't do any conditioning. And Okemos sometimes. So really, it's just on like you as a player to like be doing things. There's this one workout I do. It's like a treadmill thing. It's called the John Terry. He's like a famous player. Yeah. John Terry cardio workout. Yeah. It's like, I think it's like 11 miles an hour, 8 sets of like 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, but it just gets killer by the end. It's like a little bit of an incline you put the treadmill on.
No, I can already I'm good. I hate treadmills.
Yeah, it's a little scary to like get off.
I bet. No. Yeah. But this question comes from Ethan Hauser. Shout out to him. He said, what makes a soccer player so good with their skills? Because he said there's not that many like bigger soccer players. You guys are relatively the same size. Yeah. So what separates from a good from a bad soccer player?
Really, it's after that first level of being like a youth player where like some players can like dribble all the way, they have good foot, like technical skills. As you get older to like high school, college, and then professional, obviously, like the game, everyone's skills kind of even out. Yeah. And what makes the difference is that mental edge, like you being a step ahead, kind of like chess, like just being a step ahead of your opponent, just knowing.
So you got to read the defender, right?
Yep, exactly. And then even beyond that, just like your vision of like the whole field and just seeing everything around you, knowing where people like. Seeing kind of patterns and knowing where people are going to move and where like your pass should go or something like that.
All that stuff.
Yeah.
And you got to work as a team, of course.
Exactly. That's the most
one of the biggest team sports in the game.
Definitely.
Is that why you're so drawn to it, is the team aspect?
I think so. I really like just like trying to like be in a leadership role and just be like help my team be the best.
What do you think it takes to be in a leadership role?
I think really the biggest part is leading by example. It's not all just like yelling at people like, yo, like, go do this, bro. Like it's not like that. It's just like being a hard worker yourself and just kind of like setting the tone, I guess.
Right. Okay, that's a good answer. So, talk about your recruiting process. How did that go for you?
Yeah, it's
and
actually
why did you land to Eastern Illinois?
Yeah, really interesting journey actually. So this Jags team that I was telling you about, the club team, junior year after we win states, you know, like me and Leo were also on that Jags team together.
Okay, yeah.
We're on top of the world. Like we were feeling great.
Like, yeah, you won the
everything's going well. We get a new coach. We had a different coach for the previous years before, the same coach. He goes to another club. I don't know what happened, but we got a new coach, Josh Oakley, our junior year, and he really he came in, and I really liked the way he just like set up training sessions. He really commanded like respect and attention from everybody without having to go like I was saying, like leading, like without having to go out of your way to like get it, you know.
Definitely.
So I don't know. We formed a good connection. Like he really liked the way I played, and after that year, we didn't win states that year, but we went to regionals. Did pretty well there. Barely lost to the eventual national champion. It was a close game. It was just a good year. And then, so Coach Oakley, he leaves and becomes the head coach at Eastern Illinois after junior year, going into senior year. Yeah. So, and then I had a good high school season this fall. I think he came down to one of our showcases in Orlando. Mm-hmm. So we talked a little bit there. I went on a visit next week, and
just like that.
Done deal, yeah.
Did you have any other offers, or was?
I was talking to a couple other schools at Niagara. It's in like upstate New York, kind of.
Yeah.
And like Wright State for a little bit, but like not really.
Okay.
So this was really my big like only D1 offer that I.
But you wasn't feeling New York.
No, New York. I don't know. It was cold up there. It was just nothing going on.
All right. Well, let me check the camera. I just don't want to make sure it's dead. So you definitely being good enough to go D1. There's also, I feel like, room for you to go potentially pro in the future.
I hope so, yeah.
But also there's people that can go pro right now. So I'm guessing, like, was that something you considered, or did you want to go the college route?
I think I really, from a young age, my dad really hammered education into me. And I didn't think I was going to, I don't think I'm good enough to go pro right now, at least like a high-level pro side. I think the college game is really what's going to help me grow into being that kind of player.
So do you think if you grew up in overseas, that would have just definitely changed that trajectory? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. All those guys overseas.
Explain to someone that doesn't watch soccer how that goes.
Basically, in England, Spain, Germany, France, all those countries, all of Europe really. All these players are brought into these youth academies of the pro teams at a really young age.
So like FC Barcelona.
Yep, Barcelona, Real Real everyone, Manchester United.
And they're getting the best of the best, or you could be decent, they'll bring you in.
I wouldn't know, but I think they really breed these players at 5, 6, 7 years old. Really young. It's like Project Mbappe. They're really just priming them to just be the best. And it's really cutthroat. I think it's really cutthroat. You have a bad game, you're out. Done.
Right.
So all these players rise up the ranks until age 16, 17, 18, where the best ones will sign pro contracts. And then the ones that don't, off every, for example, off a U18 squad in England, Manchester United's U18 team, maybe 2 or 3 will sign pro, and then the rest will just gone, and then they'll have to try somewhere else.
What all those 18-year-olds, could those guys theoretically play in college and still be as good as D1 players?
Oh yeah, I'm sure most of them would be a lot better than D1 players.
Right, or what about MLS?
The MLS academy players, a lot of them.
Wait, MLS has their own academy.
Yeah. It's kind of different, but they're growing.
How different?
It's not as intense. I don't think they have 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 7-year-olds training. I think it starts at around U13.
Okay.
But it's still they have really good programs, really good systems, but the thing with MLS, the academies, is the players that don't sign those homegrown contracts and go straight up to the pro team. Most of them will sign for really good D1 schools.
I bet, yeah. And so it still works out in the end.
Yeah, exactly.
So how much different do you think the college game is going to be different from high school?
I think it's really just going to be a lot of intensity. Everything. It's going to be a whole new game. High school, really, if you have a really good team in high school, there's nobody that's going to really compete with you. But in college, every team is just every team is full of those best players from high school.
Right.
So it's every team's going to be really good.
It's going to be really competitive. Yeah,
so competitive.
So, have there been soccer matches, because you obviously had a really good team, where it was just boring?
Yeah. There were some. Junior year especially.
Yeah. We would give one.
Yeah, well, I think we played Waverly. We beat them in the thing is, you can't mercy a team in the first half. So we were up like 8-0, I think, within like 25 minutes in. So we just kind of we just had to wait it out for like, I think the high school games are like 40 minutes.
Right, like don't run it up now.
Like get 10 passes or something.
Well, you guys could have got 30 on them if you want. Yeah,
maybe.
Super disrespectful. Oh my God,
I feel bad during those kind of games.
Yeah, because you don't want to run up the score.
Yeah,
those guys are like genuinely trying. I know, just better. But that's funny though.
Yeah.
So the MLS though, is that one of your main goals, or would you want to play overseas?
I think MLS, really the way through college to go pro through college that I see is the MLS draft. That's really like the coveted thing, like the NBA draft, NFL draft. So you really, unless there's not a ton of scouts from overseas coming to college games. I mean, just frankly. So the path to going overseas to like a big pro club would be to make an like a
MLS
team.
Okay. How does the MLS draft work? Because like, you know, in basketball it's like they draft you at 18, but then in football they wait till you're 21, 22.
Yeah, so I don't think one and done is a thing with soccer. I don't think you can do that. Maybe like 2 or 3.
Right.
But it's not really like a LeBron James like straight out of school getting drafted.
Even if you're super good? Or?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think the players that are like ready to do that are already at these MLS academies.
That's a good point.
Getting homegrown contracts.
So getting signed as early as possible.
Yeah.
So, I mean, MLS is growing really, really rapidly, especially with Messi joining the league. Do you think you can see MLS being one of the biggest sports in America?
Honestly, I don't know. Like, there's these other sports, baseball, basketball, football, hockey. These sports have been around the U.S. and just, like, in the culture for so long.
Point,
I think soccer can grow, like, a ton in our lifetimes in the U.S., but I don't know if it'll ever, like, surpass those other sports in the U.S.
I think it has a good chance, though, because, like, with our demographic, like...
It's possible.
If they keep bringing on international superstars over here and grow the league, you know,
it's definitely possible. But, like, the way soccer is overseas, like in England, there's teams, like there's, you know how the promotion relegation system works? Like, they don't have that in MLS. So in Europe, I think the bottom 2 teams and the top 2 teams from the second division or like the third division go up. So, like, all these fans stay with their teams for, like it's like ride or die. Like, they've been fans for, like, hundreds and hundreds of years. So it's just like, it's like a tradition. I don't know.
Well, what are your thoughts about Messi joining MLS?
I think it's awesome. I grew up watching Messi all the time. Like, he's everybody's favorite.
Wait, how do you watch his games if it's overseas?
Oh, I mean,
I always wondered this.
Like YouTube highlights, and there's also this like app. It's called Fubo TV.
Okay,
It has like all of these games like on replay and stuff.
Is it on weird times for you, or
is it on what?
Like weird times, like 6 a.m. or something?
Oh, like it depends. Usually the ones in England are like morning. Yeah, so it's not that bad.
Okay.
But
But going back to the Messi thing, like, how much do you think it's going to change the league, though?
Oh, I think it's going to change everything. I heard he's going to, after he retires in probably 2 or 3 years, he gets like the right to buy like another team.
What?
So he's going to like make another team. I think it's going to just be huge for the MLS. I'm really excited.
It's going to be definitely a game changer.
Yeah.
But like, I was having like an argument with one of my friends the other day because I was like, he's not joining the league for money, you know. Like it's got to be for like the fame and the clout, like to grow his brand and stuff like that. And America's like, especially like since there hasn't been this big of a soccer star, since like I don't even know who David
Beckham. Probably.
Yeah, exactly, David Beckham. But he's way bigger. He's done way much.
He's the biggest star ever.
Exactly. So I'm just really interested to see where this goes. Like, you know, maybe it can surpass something like baseball because baseball's kind of dying.
Yeah, maybe.
And it's a hard sport to play baseball, you know, and it's a lot of money. Soccer, you just need a ball.
Exactly. In baseball, I feel like people are the instant gratification of TikTok and Instagram, all these things. You get bored of like watching the whole baseball game, 9 innings.
9 innings. You either got to shorten the baseball fields and make more home runs, or like I don't know,
something to make it entertaining.
But we'll see how the Messi thing goes because it's like every game's gonna be sold out.
Yeah, the tickets are like $5,000.
Exactly. Whether you're a soccer fan or not, like you know, it's gonna be an appeal to see him play like at least once. You know,
definitely.
Until, I mean, I feel like maybe Ronaldo will do the same thing.
Yeah, maybe. I thought he was gonna come to the MLS before he went to Saudi Arabia. Yeah. But I don't know if he'll come now. Maybe that would be insane. Maybe I wouldn't be surprised. Messi on the East Coast, Ronaldo on the West Coast. That would be.
See, that's something that would even bring soccer, like, you know, more fans and stuff like that.
Countrywide.
Yeah. What's one of the best advice that you ever received from a coach? Yeah, it's a good question.
That's a tricky question. That's a tricky question.
And if you're watching right now, please subscribe, like, comment. Really appreciate it. I read all the comments. Yeah, going back.
Okay. I'd say my coach, the coach Powell that I was telling you about growing up, he always told me, like, the first couple games on that team, I still had that bit of, like, timidity, like, just shyness from, like, playing and, like, even, like, going into tackles. Like, I would kind of, like, step out. And, like, I wouldn't want to get hurt or something like that. So he just told me, he said, Alex, you're more likely to get hurt if you hesitate. So on the next 5 tackles you make, I just want you to go in as hard as you can.
Right.
Get the ball going as hard as you can. And I did it. And then I think like 10 minutes later, we had like a halftime, I think. Mm-hmm. He was like, Alex, those were good tackles. The next 5 passes you make, I want you to do it, not think twice about it, just make the pass.
Yeah.
And I think I got like an assist or 2 in the second half. And so it wasn't really like a straight on like advice, like life advice or anything, but it was kind of like a little like reminder, like go into everything like full force, full throttle, like don't kind of like half step into it, like
don't hesitate,
go all the way, and that's done well for me.
Yeah,
just remembering that.
No, yeah, and what I find really like beautiful about that, it's like it's through example, because you talked about that earlier, like you know, like it wasn't something that he just told you. He told you through an example, and you did it. So I
feel like the best way to learn is not being told, but like kind of like discovering yourself, and those are the best teachers that kind of like let you figure out the lesson. Like,
exactly, you know, instead of just like leaving people behind and like they'll let them figure it out.
Exactly, like showing you the answer without like pointing it out.
Right. Yeah. What are you most excited for about college?
Really just a new, like, fresh start, like just kind of meeting new friends, making a new bond with a new team.
Yeah.
The good thing is it's going to be really, really hard. I'm not going into a program where it's like Duke or Stanford, where it's like I'm going to sit on the bench the first 2 years. Like I have a real prospect at like being in the playing group or even maybe the starting 11 this year.
Yeah.
So it really gives me something to like close, like tangible in the future to like work.
Grind, So like you're excited for like the wanting to work, the grind, the hard stuff, knowing that like, this is not going to be easy. It might not be easy your first year, but you're going to go to a level where you guys are going to accomplish your goals.
Yeah, exactly.
So you guys, what conference is that? The MAC?
It's the Ohio Valley Conference.
Ohio Valley Conference. Yep. So what do you guys expect to bring your first year then?
Yeah, I mean, it's a whole new conference, actually. Yeah. So we were in this, I don't know if you've heard of the Summit League. It's another mid-major conference. We were in the Summit League last year. This year we made the switch to the Ohio Valley Conference. And basically the whole like thing behind that was the Summit League, I think, had 8 teams. The top 4 teams go through the conference tournament.
Okay.
And then like obviously the winner of each conference tournament goes on to the NCAA tournament.
Right.
So for the Ohio Valley Conference instead, it's like I think it's 9 teams in the conference, but the top 6 teams go through.
What are some of the other schools I probably know?
I think Chicago State, like University of Incarnate Word, it's all the way down to Texas, I think. San Antonio State, Southern Illinois, Northern Illinois.
Yeah.
I think maybe even Western Illinois too. All the Illinois, but yeah.
So you might have to drive to Texas sometimes.
I think it's gonna be a flight. I think we have we have the Incarnate Word game and then the San Antonio game like back to back.
Oh, okay, that's nice.
Because I think Texas would probably be like a 15-hour drive. I don't know if we're doing that on a bus.
That's tripping.
I don't know about that.
NCAA tournament though, that sounds exciting.
Yeah.
How many teams are they allowed every year?
I think it's 64. I think it's 64. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So that's a big. It's like same with men's.
Same as March Madness. Everything.
Wow.
It's like same concept.
So there's a lot of like very crazy upset stuff
like
that.
Yep. Everything like that. There was this team. Western Michigan. Obviously. I think they went to the Sweet 16 this year. They were unheard of before.
I didn't even know they had a soccer team.
Ty's team.
Ty's. Oh yeah. I was joking, but that's crazy. So it really is like anybody's game.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like whatever team really brings the most like work ethic.
So it's kind of a tricky question, but with soccer, do you think it's more like on the team as in like talent in the players, or is it more coaching? And that's a tricky question.
That is a tricky question.
In your opinion, as a player,
I think a great coach can bring a talented group to new heights, but I don't think a great coach can coach like a mediocre group and bring them to great things. You know, I think it really starts and ends with the players.
Yeah,
I think.
So if you don't have a mediocre coach with great players can do just as good with a great coach with mediocre players.
Yeah, I'd say so. Maybe even better.
Maybe even better because of the players. Yeah.
Because obviously they're the ones playing the game.
Mm-hmm. So then would that kind of explain why USA soccer isn't as good as the other countries? Or they haven't been as good recently?
Because of coaching?
Yeah. Or
definitely a
players.
possibility.
Yeah.
Or players. Definitely both of them are a possibility. Obviously, all the other countries are farming kids to be on the national team from 5 years old.
That
the US
is a good point.
Been interested in other sports. It has so many other sports that the US is playing.
That's taken away so many great athletes away.
Exactly. It's diversified out.
Yeah. You said you would like to play overseas though, right?
Yeah, I mean that's obviously I'd say
goal.
my tip-top dream. It's obviously unrealistic, whatever. Tip-top dream would be to play.
Nothing's unrealistic, it's realistic as you make it to be,
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Would be to play in the Premier League in England. That's the best league. It's everybody's dream.
But are you ready for that culture shock though? Not culture shock in a sense, but it's still first world country, but you're living in a whole different world.
I mean, I feel like the big plus would be it's an English-speaking country at least. Like if I was going to go to Spain or Portugal or Germany, something like that, it would be definitely harder. But I think every going to a new place, even going to Eastern Illinois, is going to be a culture shock.
That is
a different thing, different place. You just got to get used to it, I think.
Someone else that I've also had on the podcast, Aiden Hanchett, former Okemos goalie.
Oh, yeah.
He's had talks to play somewhere in South America. Is that something you would do too?
Oh, to play in South America? I mean, that would be awesome, depending on the offer, what it would be. But yeah, that would anywhere
to
move up, just to level up a little bit.
So, what other hobbies do you have outside of soccer?
Recently, not really that many. I've just been playing soccer, trying to get bigger, lifting weights. I've really come to enjoy it. I never really liked lifting weights all through high school until this summer I started working with this personal trainer in Novi.
Yeah.
I really started liking it. It's just
why were you afraid? You didn't want to get bulky or?
No, I lifted every once in a while, but I never really followed a set routine. I wasn't super strict about it. I had good form and depth and everything like that, but I just wasn't really strict about it. And now that I've been strict about it for 2-3 months, I can really see some noticeable improvement. Okay. So it's encouraging.
Yeah. So going to the gym, you don't play any other sports with friends outside of soccer?
I mean, I'll play football in the yard or basketball or whatever. But
so I'm assuming though, since you're a soccer guy, you'll hit up your soccer friends, but hey, let's play some soccer, right?
Yeah, of course.
How many people do you need though for a good game?
For a good game, anywhere from.
And this is no goalies, right? Or do you have goalies?
It depends. I'll get to that. It depends. If it's anywhere from 4v4, I wouldn't want to play I wouldn't just invite people to a field to play 3v3 or 2v2, but 4v4 to 11v11.
Okay. Dang, so a real game,
yeah. So up to 6v6, 7v7, I wouldn't invite I wouldn't have goalies. It would be lacrosse nets or something. But over that, we'd probably get maybe even Aiden Hanchett comes sometimes. Another goalie.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
How hard is it though to get 11-on-11s? I
imagine. That's rare.
Yeah,
that's rare. Okay. It doesn't happen that often. But when it does, it's a fun time.
You kind of talked about how you love soccer, but I feel it's such a unique sport to play in Michigan, though. Am I wrong? Is there a lot of soccer talent in Michigan?
Yeah, actually, I was surprised because I didn't think Michigan was a big soccer state, but it's one of up there with like California, Florida. It's one of the bigger soccer states. There are a lot of good soccer players here.
What would you consider like soccer states then?
Like I was saying, California, Texas, Florida, New York, New Jersey, some of those East Coast states too.
So we're right up
probably
there.
Illinois, Chicago kids.
Okay,
pretty good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Time for the tough hitting question.
Okay.
Messi or Ronaldo?
Messi always.
What?
But there's a big but in there.
Someone said I had to say Sui. I had to just. I wasn't gonna do the celebration, but I had to bring that. Yeah. But you said Messi, yeah.
But big but. I've always obviously watched both of them play. So many highlights, so many games, so many goals they've scored. The player that I wouldn't say I mirror my game around either of them, but in terms of shooting and like technique, I probably would mirror the way I want to play around Ronaldo more than Messi, because obviously he's a short guy. I'm not going between players like that. Like that's not my game.
Okay, so, but who's the better player, and then who had the better career?
I'd say Messi's obviously the better player, and I'd say Messi had the better career.
Dang,
too,
he sweeps him. Okay.
Ronaldo did have in the Champions League though. Ronaldo was untouchable.
He was.
Yeah.
Had that run.
Something else.
But would you say that either of those guys are your favorite, or you have someone else?
Honestly, Messi's probably my favorite player.
Yeah.
But the player like I've always liked to watch, and like I really like as a kid, like I wanted to play like this guy. Paul Pogba is the guy I really mirrored.
Oh yeah, I heard him.
Yeah.
He's pretty good.
He's a great player.
He played for some French team. I'm forgetting.
It was Italian. He played for Juventus, and then he played for Manchester United for a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oops. Who would you say is your favorite non-soccer athlete?
Maybe like this new kid that plays tennis. His name's like Alcazar or something.
Is that the one that just
he
won?
just beat Djokovic? Yeah. I've been watching him for like the last year. He's like 19, I think.
Yeah, he's 20.
It's 20. Yeah,
that's crazy.
He's really good. Something else.
He beat Djokovic.
I really like the way he plays.
So crazy at so young. He's just already like, one of the best.
Yeah,
already the best.
Like even like those guys like Nadal, Federer. I feel like they weren't doing it until they were like older, like 24.
Yeah,
something like that.
And to be there at 20, it's like
that's something else.
That's a cusp of legendary shit right there.
Yeah,
honestly.
Yeah.
What about let's stick with an American though.
Okay, American. Probably LeBron James. I've always liked LeBron James.
The GOAT.
Yeah, the GOAT easily. Yeah.
What race are you?
My dad is Indian.
Okay.
But he actually grew up. It's a funny story. It's a crazy story actually. He was born in India. At the age of 1, like his whole family had to like move to Uganda in Africa.
What?
So he grew up from age 1 to 18 in Uganda.
Yeah.
Under like I don't know if you've heard of Idi Amin.
No.
He was like a crazy dictator during the time. It was like crazy guy. It was something else. But it was like So then he had to when he turned 17, I think he went to college back in India, then to England, then just crazy life. He had a crazy life. And then my mom is Greek.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it should have made sense with Gandhi, like his Indian, but like I was thinking, like genuinely, like I thought you were Egyptian. Like,
Egyptian.
You could pass for that.
I feel like I kind of have like the Middle Eastern like skin tone.
Middle East, exactly. I thought about Gandhi. It's so obvious. I just didn't want to be racist.
Right.
Like, he's Indian, like and you don't look Indian, not to be, whatever. But so you're done with high school. I know we kind of talked about that, but like, what are you gonna take away from high school? Like being there for 4 years. You grew up in Okemos, right? So you've been there for 12 years.
My whole life,
Your whole life, and now you're leaving in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Well, and leaving them behind friends, I know that's gonna be hard and stuff like that.
It's definitely gonna be tough. Biggest thing is to just like. I remember going into freshman year, I was a really shy kid.
Yeah.
I didn't like talk to a lot of people. I just kind of played soccer, kept my head down, like didn't really make connections with people. The biggest thing I'd say I learned in high school is like just like smile at people, like wave, like be nice, like it could go a long way, and you could make a friend that like will benefit you and be a good friend in the future, like make a connection for like later in life,
Yeah.
You never know.
That's beautiful. Yeah, so that's right.
Yeah.
And that took you a while to get to that point to be comfortable
definitely just
with
come
yourself,
out
though.
Trying to like push myself out of my comfort zone, talk to somebody like I didn't know, or like say hi.
Oh, it's tough. Yeah.
It's always scary.
Being a freshman, I wouldn't wish that upon anybody. Yeah. You just got to experience it though,
Yeah, right.
And once you do get to that point though where you know yourself, it's going to be much better.
Yeah, definitely.
Final question. Not final question, sorry. This is like last 3 questions, but when did you know you were good at soccer? And when did you know you could like go potentially far with this? Because those are like 2 different levels, I know I'm good, but like when did you know like I'm college good, right?
Right. I'd say so. It's like 2-part. I would say first part when I like really like was like wow, like I'm not bad. Like I actually like not a bad player. Like I can do stuff. Right. Was the year after I was on the B team. When I was on the B team, like even like after the year after I got moved back up to the A team, I started playing well. I started playing like a different position, like more midfield instead of like winger.
Right.
Became captain of the team. Started like, scoring goals. Just playing a lot better. that's when I was like, damn, like I'm actually not bad. Like I can play. Like I can run with these guys. And then I would say the time, like, what do you mean by like realize you were college good, or like the time I like wanted to like go play like D1, or like the time I like was like, damn, like I really want to do this.
Exactly. Yeah.
I would say so the year after that, I was captain. I moved to the Jags team in Novi, and that was like top team in the state. Like it was like a big thing to like make that team.
Right.
I was like, damn, I've been doing pretty well. Like I did not expect this of myself. Right. I was like, we'll see how far we can take this. Like, you know, like I'm really starting to enjoy this. Like I'm finding a love for this. Like let's see how far we can go. And I just kind of went from there.
Okay. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. Because those are just two different points, big points of your life where, like, you know, you're doing what you're doing and you find something that you enjoy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're going to Eastern in the fall. I mean, the summer, but what are you majoring in?
I think I'm going to do a double major in finance and computer science.
Okay. So if, you know, something bad, hopefully, like, you know, God, knock on wood, an injury or something. What do you want to do with that?
I don't know. Like, what I was thinking is with the computer science degree, if I say I don't get drafted, knock on wood again, say I don't get drafted in the MLS, if I want to continue going down that, like, trying to find a pro, like, team to play on route, a computer science degree would be really helpful, because working from home, obviously, I could do it anytime. Right. I wouldn't, because with practices, like, halfway through the day, a 9 to 5 wouldn't necessarily be, like, suitable, or, like, trying to go on trial or somewhere else or something. So that's kind of my idea with that. But then another thing is, I really want to, like, I'm going to start selling this course, actually, so, you know, like,
stay tuned,
plug. It's just like a soccer, like, skills course, like, whole training thing. I'm going to shoot some videos, high quality camera, like, start trying to sell it. You know,
that
see
sounds
if I can
like
make some money.
Like kind of like a camp, but like a course.
Yeah, kind of like a module like type of thing.
Okay, like a beta. I see what he's doing.
Like an online like course.
That's dope. Would you want to have like a camp of your own? Something like that?
Maybe someday. Maybe if I come back from college next year, I can like kind of label it D1 athlete camp. I don't know if I can necessarily. I haven't been to a D1 school to play yet, so I can't really label myself that yet.
You can say D1 athlete. Athlete's like more.
Yeah. D1 athlete to be. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
But next summer, maybe.
Okay. This is the final question. Okay. So, to someone from Okemos, or you never know who's watching that's playing soccer. What advice would you give them to not only, you know, find confidence in themselves to, like, you know, maybe they're on the bench all the time, they want to play. Yeah. But also like confidence to like go to the next level like you and play in college.
Yeah. I would say if you're like on the bench, which I feel like every player that's ever made it anywhere.
Right. Michael Jordan been on the bench.
Yeah, I think sophomore year he didn't make varsity or something like that. So like any player that's on the bench or just not getting the minutes or playing the way they want to, you just really, it all comes down to the hours you put in and the time, the mental time you put in and the effort and the energy. It's all just about being excitable about doing what you want, like doing what you're doing, playing soccer, baseball, football, whatever it is, just coming to practice every day, going to train by yourself every day with that tenacity to just want to be better than you were yesterday.
Right.
That's all I would say.
That's perfect. Yeah, you guys grind, work harder, and expect more from yourself each and every day.
Yeah.
But thank you so much, Alex, for coming on. I really appreciate it. Yeah. Follow his Instagram. I guess. I mean, can we watch your games? Where would that be possible?
There's actually a game at Detroit Mercy September 17th. So if anyone wants to come to that,
September 17th.
Love to see you guys there.
Oh, hell yeah. Make sure to like, subscribe. Thank you again, Alex, for coming on.
Thank you for having me, Simon.
Have a good day, guys, and peace.